In this episode, we're going to replace the crusty old parking brake cables on the C10. Get out of here. So we're in the cab here looking at the parking brake. It comes in through the floorboard here. And I've got this little ball to unhook, which should be pretty easy. Let's see if we can just get it with these. It's in a bind, or it ain't working. There we go. All right. Hold on a second. I got to get a wrench. All right. Well, normally I think you could take a 7/16 wrench, put it on over here, and push down on that to release the little plastic clips. But this is my 7/16 wrench, the only one I've got that I can find that's not a ratchet wrench. No boxing, because that's a header wrench. So I think because I'm replacing it, I'm just going to go in here with a screwdriver and break all those tabs off. I'll do that and come back, and we'll see if we can pull that through the firewall. Alright, so those clips turned out to be metal. A couple of them broke off, but I ended up, doing what I do a lot, getting the bolt cutters out, cut the cable so I could spin it around and push those tabs in and get her on down. So that's out. We'll work on trying to pull that through and push the new one in. All right, so we're under the driver's side. This is where I painted yesterday. I need to keep going because, we're going to pretend we didn't see that. It looks good. That looks good too. We'll probably shoot it with some paint. But this is where that parking brake cable comes out. Yeah, and I don't know how in the world I'm supposed to get that new one back up in there. Maybe I gotta unbolt the inner fender well. That doesn't excite me very much, because got all that shit to deal with. I don't know, maybe I could drop those two bolts and get her on up in there, and then hopefully pass this new part of the cable through the grommet easily. We're gonna see. We're gonna try to yank this thing out, see what happens. Plus, it's just leaking on the floor again. I don't know if that's oil or trans fluid. That's just from pushing it in last night. I cleaned the floor up yesterday. It looks like the pan leaks a little bit. May have to drop that. Definitely gonna drop the trans pan. But it looks like in order to get to the back bolts of that trans pan, I'm going to have to drop the cross member. I mean, that makes it easy. There's no bolt right there. So, yeah, that's easy. Looks like it's 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here, and I think the same on the other side. Might actually look for a different cross member that will do dual exhaust, like that side over here versus what I got coming down over this BS. But whatever, I mean, I may just take it in and have somebody do it. Alright, that's not what we're doing right now. So well, shit, I don't like that. Look at that. There's a big old gap back here. We're gonna fix that first and get this jack stand set better. And then we're going to look at trying to get this cable out. All right, that was easy. That was easy. All right. What about the rest of this? So that's just going to pull on through there. Piece of cake there. And I need to break that connection. Or actually, I can cut it because I got a new one. You know, I'm starting to get a little smarter. Buy new pieces, buy them all. Screw it. How many times have I gone back and reordered stuff because I thought, like, yeah, it'll be fine. It wasn't. We're going to use my method of dealing with cables and junk like this and brake lines that I know I'm not going to reuse. So let me go get Mr. Bolt Cutters. All right, let's just get rid of this shit. It may not cut the cable very well. I may have to get a different cutter. Well, look how easy that was. I didn't have to do anything. This looks like it'll feed through those holes. I ain't doing nothing. All right, we don't have to cut now. We're just gonna pull it on through. Well, that's the easy part. Seems shorter. Well, of course I cut a piece of it off, but I only cut about 3 inches of it off. So let's say that. This piece was all the way up like to right there. That'd be way too much. And that ain't right. So that ain't the right piece. I'm looking at it because it's got this, the metal flex cable, armor cabling on it. The other two pieces have rubber cabling on them. Something ain't right. My luck, I ordered a fucking 6-foot bed. Shit. They must have had a design change or something, because this looks actually much closer to what was up in the cab. And that tends to fit right there. Yeah, and that goes back to that connector. So they changed the cabling on it from this armor flexing to this rubber coated. Still can't go through there. All right, that's what it does. Looky here, we're going through there. You know, I'm just looking at it all expecting it to be the same, and it's kind of not. Now, we're not going to plug that in just yet. I can see a hole. Well, I can't see the... Yeah, I can. I can barely see the hole up there. I wonder if I could fish a line down. Can you even see me? You guys are looking at the back of my head. I'm sorry. I wonder if I can fish a line down from there, wrap it around here, and guide that puppy up into the hole that way, through the grommet. I think that's what we're gonna try. Okay, so we did run a piece of safety wire down here. And I'm gonna see if that will pull that on up through. Gave the bar, put the bar up in there, gave her a little pressure, and got it past where it was catching. So, I don't know, let's go up here and see if we can maybe pull that sucker through. Look at that pretty paint job. God, it sucks. I don't know if I'm gonna get you up in this or not, but let's light it up. You see that right there? All right, there's my wire coming up through. A piece of safety wire. I always keep that around, you never know. Coil of it, it's cheap and it's good for lots of things. Okay, I can see right now that's not gonna work because I didn't get it on the end of the ball to guide the ball up. I'm on the bottom of the fitting to help pull on the fitting and not damage anything. Of course, like everything, you know, she's fighting me a little bit. trying not to take the inner fender well out, which looks like that would be easier to do, but let's just see if we can get the grommet out. Even if we tear it up, I've got others maybe that would work in its place, or we'll just figure something out. Kind of not an easy spot to work in. But it's right there at the grommet. See, right there it is. So maybe we can work that grommet back in. We'll go in underneath. Try to wiggle that a little bit. Come on, baby. We got it. We got it up. Woohoo! Can we get it connected in the hole now? Locked in place. It's a little stiff. I actually want to try to get that grommet on there too. See if we can reuse that puppy. Yeah, I don't know. Don't look like it's going through there. I know how we're gonna do it though. We're gonna cut it. Or I just took the grommet and I cut it. I'll snake it around in there. See if I can get it hooked up after I get this in its correct position. It's heading that way. Get in your home, little guy. Come on, go home. Seems pretty dang tight right there. She ain't quite getting up there. We'll figure that out too and come back. So I shot a little lubrication up in there. And there we go. Almost fully seated. We're in. Probably get a open-end wrench and put on there and kind of try to push on it. All right, now I got to get this oops, sorry, didn't mean to blind you. Now we got to get that little ball end up in there. Probably not going to be able to show you me doing that. I'm going to try to get you in there to see it. No promises. So it's freed up downstairs, so that cable comes through. I don't know how much. I think I need two pair of needles. So I'm trying to grab there an inch or so below, and then that stupid thing. So I can pull this, and there we go. All right, we are in. So I don't have a parking brake release lever, but I do, because I bought a new one. So we'll put that in later. Now let's go back downstairs and, well, let's try to jimmy this grommet in. Good enough for now. All right, let's go downstairs. Now we're going into here. Can you see that? So we're just gonna push this one through, maybe. Probably should clean that and paint it at first, but I didn't. Just pretend we didn't see it and keep rolling on. Those metal clips are kind of hard to get engaged. All right, got a selection of wrenches and a dead blow. Perfect. It's in. Okay. Now we gotta find a grommet. So I went out in my wood shop and I grabbed my grommet box. I got these from work several years ago. We used to sell molded parts and, you know, rubber feet with screws in them. All kinds of grommets. So I'm thinking I got a grommet that might fit up there, and that looks like it might be the one. So I just kept these things around. I got bags of them. Big, small, medium, large. Never know when you're gonna need one, so I just kept them. This was a plastic piece, and I only bought one. And it needs two. This one just crumbled out. The other one's gonna do the same thing. All right, that's in there. And now we're over to this other stuff. This all came from LMC Truck, if anybody was wondering. So that just goes down. And I'm not sure how it seats. It looks like it goes, yeah, it's supposed to pull into that. There you go. Give her a little push. There's a little tab here on the back side. Push that through, and that keeps it from going away. Look at that. We're getting places. All right, so now we got a cable that comes from the driver's side, which would be this short cable. Yeah, this goes inside the where the drum is. Parking brake lever attaches to that. This side goes through the top. And through that hole. And it's got the metal locking tabs on it too. Okay, push lock, boom. That part is done. This part goes in here just like the last piece. Pulls through. And it doesn't. That's got a bigger end on it than this does. Yeah. So I can't get that tab behind it. We've got to find a way to lock that. What I may do is crimp it in the middle. But I'd rather get that done. I don't know if you can see it. Where are we? See how the top one is short, fits in there, and that little crimp goes down and keeps it from coming back through. But this one, bottom side, is much, it's double. So you can see right there that it is, that little tab won't go behind it. We're gonna make it go behind it somehow. So I bent that tab up, and I'm gonna snip the end off of it, make it shorter. Needs to be a little bit shorter. All right, we're in solid. So I cut that little tab off just a little bit, shortened it, and pushed it, and now it's locked in. We're good. Okay, here is where I replaced the grommet over there. There's that plastic piece just jumped on out of there, left the chat. I am going to get that brake line out of there. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get this out of here, and we'll come back in a few minutes. All right, I got this crusty piece out of the way. And now we're gonna start working on trying to get those tabs either crimped in or oh, there we go. Look at that. Get on out there. Don't need you no more. Where we're going. All right, so I am going to, I'll put a quick wire brush on that and probably hit it with a spritz of paint before I come back in with the new piece. All right, we're back in here today. I got this all cleaned and painted up. Got the little bushing that goes in there. Put just a little bit of grease on the ears. It's got 4 ears that go there. Hopefully it'll set. And get this stick. Maybe I can give it a good tap, but it won't even stick. A little chilly out here in the shop today, about 50. Dang heater wouldn't fire up. And that's a new heater. Did this one other time and I took it apart, but didn't really do anything. But it fired up. Come on, this is just, why does everything got to fight me so hard? It's just trying to put new stuff in you. Try a couple more times and then I think I'll just do a grommet like I did on the other one. There we go. Got her started, she went in. All right. So that does that. There's the old passenger side cable. The new one, take the nut off. Goes in there. Locks in. And we get to bring this piece we put together yesterday. And that's supposed to go in here and reach, and there we go. Just gonna start that thread on there, or that nut. We'll make the adjustments after the parking brake is installed on the lever. That's on there, it's not coming out. Now we gotta finagle this through here. And that goes into the driver's side drum, and that will attach also to the lever for the parking brake. All right, that, my friends, is all there is to the parking brakes, other than when I get everything attached, we'll come back here and adjust this threaded screw. We'll adjust this. It's probably going to come out to about here or so, to make sure that when the parking brake is engaged, the shoes engage. That's it. Next up will be the drum brakes. Thanks for watching.